Hi, this is Alan Shea with our society show. We are here at Brookside Country Club at the 1970 class reunion, and I have standing right next to me the incredible Hazel McFadden, who was the first African-American queen of John Muir. And we are so excited to have her right here with us. And what can you share with us about that?
I can share that my years at John Muir were excellent. My teachers and my loved ones and friends were great. I still have a lot of them, but a lot of them have gone away. And I'm happy. Thank you so very much.
So why don't you share with us, really, so all these folks who are watching tonight can just imagine, how did an incredible young lady feel about representing not only John Muir High School, not only representing the Mustang Pride, but also Pasadena, because at the time you were probably the first black queen, because Pasadena High School had just entered their fourth or fifth year.
Fourth or fifth year, I'm not sure. But anyway, it was a pleasure, surprise, because I'm the little poor girl from Pasadena, and they nominated my loved ones and my friends from school, then nominated me to be homecoming queen. Thank you so very much.
And last but not least, before we let you go, you have to share with the viewers, how was it coming out of the Rose Bowl, playing your homecoming game at the Rose Bowl, and bringing that tradition forward for future generations?
Never give up, follow your dreams, be your dreams, and make them all come true.
Well, we want to thank you so much, Hazel. And she's also been a part of Pasadena that makes sure we enjoy what we have here in this great city.
Right.
And because of people like Hazel, we have a lot of history here that we're going to continue to make sure people are aware of everybody's contribution. So thank you for being with us. We're going to bring some more of your classmates in so they can share with us how incredible their experience was back at John Muir, class of 1970.
Of 70, yes.
Football players on the dance floor. Football players on the dance
party tonight, like it's 1970. Hey. Go Nancy, go Nancy, go Nancy, show Nancy, get it Nancy. Gonna show some of her moves. Jill is in the house. Wait, Jill. Work. Hey, hey, hey. Oh. Got some party over here. Got a party over here. Got a party over here. From 1970. This couple is showing us the breakdown of 1970s. Hit it down. Rock steady. Hit it. Oh. Yeah. All right. Now we're going to get over here with Phil. Let's show us. Go ahead, Phil. What show we can party with? squad that they're going to show us how Bruno Mars is going to bring from 1970 into today's time. Let's go. All right, where's the pep squad? Get this pep squad up here. 1970. Hey, let's go. Hi, we have Lawrence here with us, and he's another classmate of the class of 1970. Lawrence, why don't you share with the viewers how incredible John Muir was back in 1970?
It was a great school. I just sort of hung out in the stage crew and didn't do very much, but
well, you know,
skip classes.
Actually, you were the breaking ground as to what comedy and television became. Because if you remember, why don't you share with the viewers how many channels we had at the time?
Well, like 3, maybe.
That's right.
ABC, NBC, CBS.
That's right. We had three national channels, and we had 3 local channels. We had 13, 9, and 5.
Okay.
That was the 3 we had, right? Oh, actually 4 and 11.
Right.
So, but why don't you give a little insight that what did you recall about 1970 and the transition that this class made at the beginning of a new decade?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you know, I thought Lawrence, I thought she was gonna break out with Lawrence. We had Love Child. We had, we had
great music.
Well,
we had great music, which is a lot better than what's going on nowadays. So we got that.
why don't you share with them, if you can remember, back in the late 60s, early 70s, you had a lot of changes coming into place, leaving the 60s, because the 60s was a very turbulent period, and we found that with the 70s, that brought in a whole new chapter.
Right, and the war was finally winding down, and yeah.
The reason I'm here, and I kind of took over your microphone, I didn't know I was going to be doing this tonight, but the reason I did it is because I'm a John Muir alumni, class of 77. I also wanted to thank you because the class of 70 had so much pride and influence for all the class that followed you, that you would be really surprised. The reason I say that is because if you look at our alumni, we didn't have an alumni association when you were coming through. We didn't have one when I was coming through. But shortly after that, they started one so we can preserve the history and make sure that long afterward, we're gone from this time and point, we will still have our history preserved. And that's what brings me here tonight, is because in 2018, we had the mega reunion at the Hilton. And it was for a decade, from 1970 to 1979. And it was all three schools, Blair, PHS, and Muir. And I was the MC of that event, and I called on the class of 1970 to stand up, and there was only 3 members of 1970. And that is why I'm here tonight, so I can be around only the class of 1970 so we can get our party.
And this is what he had to say. It started here, right through Muir High.
Hello, people. Happy 40th high school reunion. Hope you have a good time, and I'll see you in the nursing home.
Thanks, sir. Well, I guess that says it all. Have a great time tonight, and let's go dancing.
Has done for John Muir, for Pasadena, and for all those generations that you may not have known, you had significant influence. One of your other classmates, I don't know if she's still here, Barbara Ransom? Is she still here? Barbara Dickerson? She's outside. Okay. So Barbara Dickerson was one of your classmates. Barbara Dickerson, if she's outside, Barbara Dickerson, can you please come over? This is one of your classmates. Come here. No, come here. So Barbara Dickerson is one of your classmates. Give her a hand of applause. And the reason I'm acknowledging her, okay, all right, is she's also my she's also my inspiration, and she's also someone I love dearly because she became the first one in our family to graduate from college, to go directly from Muir, to go into a 4-year institution, and she was a trailblazer, and she still is a trailblazer. And this is an example of how we had the baton pass by active, studious, intelligent students coming out of John Muir. So that is why I'm also proud, and whatever I can do to shine a light on what your class has done, I'm going to do that, because the class of 70 brought so much in, from political to social to academics, and it started with this class. So give yourself a round of applause.
Football players on the dance floor. Football players on the dance floor. We got pep squad and football players on the dance floor. TV Collins, come to the dance floor. Hey. Now show us how 1970 rocks We're going to get out here to parties tonight like it's 1970. Hey. Go Nancy, go Nancy, go Nancy, show Nancy, get it Nancy.
How many channels we had at the time?
Well, like 3, maybe. ABC, NBC.
That's right. We had three national channels, and we had 3 local channels. We had 13, 9, and 5.
Okay.
That was the 3 we had, right? Oh, actually 4 and 11. So, but why don't you give a little insight that what did you recall about 1970 and the transition that this class made at the beginning of a new decade?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know? I thought she was gonna break out with Lawrence. We had Love Child. We had, we had
great music.
We'll share with them.
We had great music, which is a lot better than what's going on nowadays. So we got that.
Why don't you share with them, if you can remember, back in the late 60s, early 70s, you had a lot of changes coming into place, leaving the 60s, because the 60s was a very turbulent period, and we found that with the 70s, that brought in a whole new chapter.
Right, and the war was finally winding down, and yeah.
And so why don't you share, before we let you go, what's that? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do with Lawrence. Lawrence is gonna look in that camera, and he's gonna share with you viewers 3 songs from 1970 and 3 television shows from 1970. Come on, Lawrence, let him know.
3 songs from 1970. Probably some Led Zeppelin, but I don't, Steely Dan, maybe? He's laughing over there.
Well, give us at least one television show.
And a television from the 70s. Get Smart?
That will work. Okay, we'll take Get Smart for tonight.
I don't know what years.
Well, thank you so much, Lawrence.
And who are you?
I'm Alan Shea, and we're here hosting tonight's show from our Society television show, and we also support our alumni. I'm also a John Muir alumni as well, so we make sure we capture our history. Thank you.